Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are in round 2 of the PRA stock series at Deep Forest Raceway. If you did miss round 1, please go check that out. It was the race around Daytona, was leading a fair amount of the race, but ultimately came home in P12, so could have gone a little bit better. But here, as you can see, we are starting in P4. This grid of cars is very tight, very close on time, as you will see. From P1 all the way down to P12 is covered by not 12 seconds, 1 second. But as you can see, we are starting in P4. Turismo is going to be starting on pole. Our teammate Shorts is going to be right behind us in P6. As you can see, he is only 1/10 behind us. Actually, not 100th, no, 10th. Yes, sorry, I can't English. He's only 1/10 behind us, so very well evenly matched. Hopefully we can work something together on this opening lap to bring home some good points for our team, D-Board Racing, and hopefully boost each other and hopefully, just see where the race goes. But as we head on to the back straight, we are going to be heading into the grid start, rolling start if you are not familiar. Starting in P4, hopefully we can make a move or some moves on the inside or outside. Just depends on how well we are able to get off the line and get on the power and so on and so forth. So on that note, let's go ahead and hop into the race. As we line up behind red line with our teammate Schwartz behind us, we are going to be going to green flag race conditions, looking for a possible move on the outside, but don't want to push anything, don't want to ruin a race too early. On the brakes a little too early, got a little push from behind from our teammate, but nothing too major. We are up into third position. As we are coming out of the first corner, we are going to make some major contact. Unfortunately, I did not see him on my inside, so thankfully it only took us out, but that is still not the best way to start this race. All the way down into 14th. Had really good qualifying. And that's just how the race is. But like you will hear me say, I just didn't see him on my inside. Unfortunate contact. If I did see him on the inside, I would have played that completely differently. But we're still in the race. No real damage done or anything like that. So it's going to take us all the way up to the beginning of lap 3, to where we are able to make up some time. As you can see, there's a group ahead of us that are going to be fighting over the position, setting a purple sector. Hopefully we are able to keep up with this group as best as possible. Not really having to worry about the fuel, just about the tire. The tire wears a little bit of a problem here around Deep Forest, especially on the fronts. The corners tend to eat the fronts up as a fair amount, but going on to the back straight, as you can see, I'm well within the slipstream of Gypsy in front of us, so hopefully we are able to possibly look for a move into the hairpin, but I am going to be a little bit far back, so hopefully we are able to pull off this move. I'm going to be late on the brakes and catch him napping as we sneak on the inside. A little contact. Definitely he wasn't expecting me to be there, but a very quick and decisive move. Honestly, I wasn't really prepared for that move. I kind of outbraked myself, but it did pay off, and didn't take and it didn't take me out, didn't take him out, and we are going to be back up to racing speed on to lap 4. But the party is just getting started. As you can see, the group ahead of us is going to be fighting over some track space, some moves being made, and they are going to slow them down. Some yellow flags, and it looks like red line is off on the side. It looks like he had an accident with either Turismo or Millie, and that was second place all the way down into last. So hopefully he can come back through the field and try to get a good result. But as you can see, we are going to be coming up against Rum Runner, and like I said, they are fighting over the same part of track, definitely losing each other time. So hopefully I can slice through this traffic as fast as I possibly can. It looks like Rum Runner is going to go a little bit wide. I didn't get on the power as early as I wanted to, but coming onto these back straight, trying to get a good exit. That way we can stay within the slipstream and hopefully look for another move down into the hairpin. But it looks like this group is going to be very feisty. Going to try and get through this pack as smoothly as possible. That way I don't lose very much time. as we come down into the hairpin, we're going to look for a possible overtake, throw him the dummy, put him under pressure. It looks like there's some contact above or in front of us, so we are going to be gaining a position. And as you can hear, there was 2 tallies, which means there's going to be a caution this lap. So we are racing back to the start-finish line. As you can see, Rum Runner, it's hard saying that, is going to get ahead of Root. So as we cross the line, we are going to be coming back, or starting the safety car in P11. But unfortunately, it looks like there's some contact, and it looks like someone got on the grass and major accident. But we were able to figure that out pretty fast and easily on this safety car lap. So we are going to jump forward to the end of the safety car, like I said before, starting in P11, hopefully looking for a better start than the beginning of the race. 70 mile per hour speed limit, as we are back to green flag racing. Looking on the inside automatically, hopefully going to put my nose up there, try to look for a move, but a little bit of a Constantine effect, some major contact between me and it looks like it was Jay Filla. But as we come out of the first 2 corners, we are still on P11 right now, just trying to get back into the swing of things. As you can see, there is a bunch of contact, and as you will see, a little bit of a weird snaking effect where there's contact and it bumped me back, so I ended up losing a place. It was weird, but hopefully we were able to gain back some of those positions on this lap. As you will see, Jay Philo actually runs wide through that corner, so I'm going to sneak up on the inside, late on the brakes, and hit the apex before he is able to. A little contact there. Again, I don't think he was really expecting me there, but we are able to get back up into P11, hopefully able to hunt down P10. As you see, just looking at the fuel, definitely didn't want to make a mistake like I did in the first round and having to pit again for fuel. But as we come onto the back straight into the hairpin, it looks like there's a big group ahead of us, some contact. As you can see, our teammate Schwartz is looking for a possible overtake, and hopefully we can get up into his position and help him out. But we're going to jump forward through the middle of lap 7. Battles going on in front of us. As you can see, they are going almost 2 wide through that. It should be only 1 wide, but I mean, it's doable, but it's not very efficient. As we come through this long right-hander, just trying to get on the power, nice and easy. As you will see, we are able to possibly look for an overtake, and luckily Diff actually missed the apex just like the lap before, so we were able to sneak up on his inside again, and he actually backed out. That way he just tucked back into our slipstream and go down the straight with us and hopefully look for some more overtakes. Jumping through to lap 8, we are still in P10. We are able to hold off Diff, and also possibly looking for a overtake on Root, as well as Rum, and then our teammate Schwartz. But as we come back through this long right-hander, possibly looking for another overtake like we did the 2 laps beforehand. But it looks like Root actually took that a lot better than Diff and Gypsy, and we're going to possibly look for an overtake but outbrake ourselves and make some contact with Root. As you can see, it kind of upsets his car, my car, but luckily we're able to survive and keep together on the straight, keep within the slipstream, but we are under pressure from Diff from behind because of that contact. Setting a personal sector, probably going to be a personal lap as well. Getting into the flow of things, late on the brakes. It looks like some major contact in front of us, but it looks like they were all able to sneak through there, and hopefully we are able to join that fight as we just tried to keep up with Root and just keep within his slipstream and kind of just run our own race. If there's a possibility to overtake, obviously we will, but not really wanting to push anything right now. As you will see later on in this video, we're going to go over some lap times as we look for a possible overtake. It looks like Root's going to go a little bit wide, going to try and carry the speed as much as possible, and he actually got on to the apron. It looks like our teammate Schwartz had a little accident ahead of us, so that is going to put him on the back foot. So hopefully we are able to make up a few positions here as we come into this middle sector. It looks like Schwartz is not having a very good time with that car. It looks like his tires are dirty and he's trying to hold on as Root goes up on the inside, but Schwartz keeps it in. Oh, there's some contact, and we are just able to sneak up on the inside of Root. Not really sure if that was meant, as we get some contact behind from Root, but some pretty interesting racing there, getting our elbows out and so on and so forth. But luckily we were able to, sneak up on the inside and, not lose a whole bunch of time as we stick in with our teammate Schwartz onto lap 10, maybe looking for an overtake, but again, with being teammates, not really wanting to force anything, as we have Frylock actually goes off wide. Maybe there's a little contact there, not 100% sure. But as we come down the hill onto the main straight, we are still within slipstream of our teammate Schwartz and Frylock. Not going to look for an overtake on Schwartz unless the opportunity arises. I'm not going to force anything. This would be really good points for our team, D-Board Racing, so hopefully we're able to work together. As we come into the first corner, as Schwartz makes a late move, and there's contact, and oh, they're both off, and we gain 2 positions in one corner. I'm not 100% sure what happened there with Schwartz. But it looks like he maybe got some contact or got a little loose into the corner and just went over the front of Frylock. But as you can see, Frylock is still behind us, so unfortunately that really ruined Schwartz's part of the race. Hopefully we were able to keep Frylock behind and keep the team going strong as possible. As we come down into this very tricky corner, very easy to run wide onto the grass, it looks like Frylock is right behind us, right up on our bumper, possibly looking for an overtake into the hairpin. As you can see, he's well within the slipstream. Again, just checking the fuel, moving our brake balance to help with tire wear, because I thought the tire wear was going to be a lot higher, but it wasn't, so we were able to, adjust that. But as you can see, Frylock is going to be sneaking up on our inside as we're heavy on the brakes into the hairpin, possibly looking for an outside move, but it looks like he's going to sneak up on the inside, and we were just going to tuck in behind him, looking for an overtake into turn 1 and 2. Use this super long straight and the slipstream to get a move done into turn 1 and 2. Looks like Frylock's going to go a little defensive, but we were able to sneak up on his inside, pull out at the very last second, and we have the momentum on him, so hopefully we are able to keep on the inside. As we come barreling down into turn 1, heavy on the brakes, it looks like we were able to make the corner, but actually Frylock is going to be still on the outside. We're going to squeeze him, but he's going to keep his nose in, and we are still side by side coming through this fast sweeping section. And as you can see, he's going to sneak up again on the inside, and finally we are able to hold him off. A little contact, a little hit in the rear, but no harm, no foul, and we that was a very close and crazy part of the race where we were able to hold him off, and very well respected between both of us. Left room for each of us, especially through that part of the track. It's typically a one line type of part of the track, but we went side by side and no major contact was made. But he is still behind us, he's still within our slipstream, but hopefully we can hold him off into turn 1. We're going to be the hairpin. We're going to go a little bit defensive, more defensive than we did last time. We're going to pull out and brake on that shadow and hit the apex first. He's going to try to do a little bit of a switchback, but not to any avail. We were able to carry the speed and get on the accelerator as fast as we possibly dare. Coming down down the hill onto the beginning of lap 13, as you can see, Frylock is still behind us. He is going to be looking for an overtake as I'm going to go defensive, hug that wall, that way he can't get on my inside. Typically, you want to be on the inside of turn 1 and 2, but he's well alongside us. Actually, he's going to be in front of us as we hit the apex first, and he's actually able to carry the speed around the outside, and we aren't able to get on the power as soon as we really wanted to. So he's actually going to come around us on the outside. What a crazy move. That was honestly a really good move on his part. But as we come into this tight part of the section, it looks like he's going to make a little mistake, go a little bit off the track, make a little contact with the wall. And if you know from GT7, Deep Forest, the track limits are very hit or miss. It's very difficult to not get a penalty, and as you can see, Frylock actually does get a 0.5 second penalty, so not really going to fight him through this part of the lap because we are going to get that position because he's going to have to serve that penalty. But hats off to Fry. Like, that was honestly a really crazy move around the outside, carrying the speed. And obviously he had the grip out there, so I mean, hats off to him. Like I said, what an amazing move. But we are gonna swing past him as he serves that penalty, hit our breaking point into the hairpin. It looks like Rum is actually going to be running a little bit wide, which is going to cost him some time. So we are well within the slipstream of him. Are we possibly going to look for a move down into turn 1 and 2? Maybe a little bit far back. Hopefully the slipstream can actually pull us closer to him and maybe even alongside him. But as we come across the line onto lap 14, we are getting closer and closer within the slipstream. Going to pull out a little too early, kind of showing my position already. And, you know, he could have easily closed the door on me, but he actually leaves the space. Not really sure why he did that. A little contact, but I was able to sneak up on his inside and, you know, get in front of him through this fast sweeping part of the track. And he actually tucked in behind me. So, yeah, I mean, I wasn't really expecting him to leave that much room, but I'm going to take it. If you're going to leave me that room, I'll take it. But we are able to pull away from Diff and Rum, if I can speak, and actually close up to Boogity onto lap 16 to 17. We are going to gain 2 more positions because it looks like Sparky and Boogity are going to be pulling into the pits for their pit stop. So we are actually going to come in on this lap. Going to try and carry the speed, try to get a personal best lap. But as you see, coming out of the hairpin, we are actually up into P4, and it looks like the front runners are going to be coming in as well. You know, Trismo and Millie and Sanders. So we are going to come in and get some new tires, and actually going to overfuel the car a little bit because, again, I didn't want to make the same mistake I did in round 1. But as you see, we will that little diamond is actually where, you know, the game's like, oh, well, this is how much fuel you'll need to get to the rest of the race. But knowing how I drive this car and drive the Sylvia, I really like to rev the car out, which uses more fuel. So I'm actually going to fill it up more. That way I actually have enough to where I don't have to really worry about fuel saving for the rest of the race. And kind of looking back now, I probably could have done that as well in the first stint. I did kind of rev the car out a little bit. But as you can see, behind Diff followed us in as well. We're going to come back out onto the track into P4, pretty comfortable. Hopefully we are able to use these brand new softs to our advantage and kind of pull away from the cars behind and close the gap to the top 3. I was kind of worried that I was going to come out into that group behind and end up fighting the rest of the race. But luckily I was able to sneak out ahead of that little group just barely. But we're going to come on to lap 23 and get, unfortunately, our one and only penalty of the race. As you see, coming in a little too hot, overdriving the car and making contact with the wall, getting us a 0.5 second penalty, which is going to lose us a decent amount of time to the group behind because of where this penalty line is on a straight. Not ideal. But as you look at the gaps, we were actually able to kind of close the gap on the top 3, as well as extend the gap to the group behind. So, you know, overall, pretty good. But after I served this penalty, nothing else majorly happened in this race. So that's going to take us home to the finish line as we come home in P4. What an amazing result on my part. You know, I was very happy with this race. I mean, could have been a little bit better if I didn't have that lap 1 incident. But, you know, it was completely my fault. No one else to blame but me. But as we come through the hairpin for the last time, like I said, we're going to come home in P4. As you can see, Sparky was congratulating me to hold him off and so on and so forth. But we are actually going to take a look at my lap times, which I was very proud of. As you can see, very consistent through the entire race. Only had a few laps where I was not in the 133s, but over a 10 to 15 lap period, I was constantly in the 133s. Very happy with that race pace and that consistency over such a long distance. And as you can see, my fastest lap was on lap 25. Was just around my qualifying lap time as well, so that's also good to see to have that in the race as well. But on that note, guys, I really do appreciate you watching. It means a ton. and I will see you guys in the next video.